pouring all of the Kool-Aid out of your pitcher. When I was a kid, I would make a pitcher of Kool-Aid every morning. Yes, the little packet with a ton of sugar, if you know, you know. But on the weekends, I never seemed to get any. Welcome back to the B-side, where we believe the record is not over yet. Now back to the story. The weekends were when my parents would have guests over. We called it having company. They'd always bring the kids, and my mom would let the kids know that we had Kool-Aid, and naturally, they wanted the glass. My siblings knew exactly what time it was. It was time to get your cup now before it's gone. Me being the eldest, I had to pour glasses for all the other kids first, and before I realized it, it was gone. Now, some might say, just make another pitcher. But there was a 1 packet per day rule in my house. That was it. No exceptions. I'm telling you this story because for a long time in my early adult life, I kept pouring all of my Kool-Aid out before I got any. See, that Kool-Aid really isn't about Kool-Aid. It represents your time, your energy, your gifts, and your emotional capacity. The things you pour into other people every single day, and a lot of us, especially those of us who grew up as the eldest sibling, the caretaker, the helper, the responsible one, we learned very early that our role was to give first. Give to family, friends, whoever walked through the door. And if there was anything left over at the end, then maybe you could have some. We carried that into adulthood without even knowing it. We gave our best hours to jobs that didn't see us, to friendships that only call when they need something. We pour ourselves into people who never once ask, hey, how are you doing? And we did it with a smile, because that's just who we are. But here's what nobody told us. You cannot keep pouring from a pitcher that's always empty. I want to be clear about something because I know how this can sound. I'm not telling you to stop being generous or telling you to become selfish, to stop showing up for people, or to build a wall around yourself. That is not the lesson here. The lesson is about order. It's about sequence. Think about when you get on an airplane. What does the flight attendant always say? Put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. Not because your life matters more than the person next to you, but because you cannot help anyone if you pass out first. You are the pitcher, and if you never refill, if you never rest or invest in yourself, protect some of what you have, eventually there's nothing left to give. Not to the people who truly deserve it, not to the causes that actually matter, not even to yourself. And I had to learn this the hard way. I burned out, I overextended, I showed up for people who weren't always showing up for me, and I told myself it was noble. It wasn't noble, it was a habit. A conditioned one that started the moment I start pouring everyone else's glass before my own. So what changed? What does it actually look like to stop pouring all of your Kool-Aid out? Well, first, you have to recognize who you're pouring for. Not everyone in your life deserves equal access to you. Some people come with a cup, some come with a bucket. And some will stand there and let you pour until you are completely dry and then walk away without even a thank you. Audit your relationships, your commitments. Ask yourself honestly, where is my energy going and what am I getting back? Not everything has to be transactional, but reciprocity matters. Doesn't have to be equal, but it should be real. Second, pour into yourself first. And that looks different for everyone. Maybe it's protecting your mornings. Maybe it's saying no to one more obligation this week. Maybe it's finally putting off what you wanted to do because you were so busy holding everybody else up. When you invest in yourself, your health, your growth, your peace of mind, you actually increase the size of your pitcher. You have more to give, not less. Generosity from a full cup is sustainable. Generosity from an empty one is just slow burnout with a smile on it. Third, and this one is important, receive well. Some of us are so conditioned to give that we don't even know how to let people pour into us. We deflect compliments. We refuse help. We say, I'm fine, when we're not. Receiving is not weakness. It's how the cycle stays alive. And I think back to that kid in the kitchen on a Saturday morning, watching the last drop of Kool-Aid hit someone else's glass. I spent too many years recreating that moment as an adult, giving first, giving most, giving all, and wondering why I felt so depleted. Wondering why, no matter how much I did, it never felt like enough. The truth is, it never feels like enough when you're running on empty. Here's what I want to leave with you today. Your generosity is a gift. Don't let it become your greatest liability. Refill your pitcher. Protect some of what's in it. Pour intentionally into people, places, and purposes that pour back, because the world needs what you have to offer, but it needs you whole, and it needs you full and sustainable. Don't give until there's nothing left. Give from overflow. And for the love of everything, save yourself a glass. If this hit home for you today, share it with someone who needed to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me, where have you been pouring your Kool-Aid? And finally, are you ready to save yourself some Kool-Aid? Stay on the B side, because that's where the classics live.